Hi, this is a training session to show you how to add jobs to your website. You might think it's, your agency website, you might think it's really straightforward, and it is, but I wanted to talk about some of the aspects of our job system, how it feeds into Google Jobs, the importance of adding a job title and filling in all the relevant parts of a job so that you get the most from it via Google, and obviously so that you get applications from your website. So obviously this is a website of ours. I've got some other different website examples that I'll run through. They all operate similarly. Our systems are all mobile responsive, so that when you click on the job section, you can filter the jobs, you can page through the different jobs, you can filter by industry sector, salary, location, and whatever elements you've included in the design of your website. Now, obviously, I'm looking at a website here, and you're probably thinking, why is that different colour to all the others? The reason that's a different colour to the others is that's a featured job. So part of one of the options on posting a job when I show you how to is to make it a featured job. Obviously, you don't want all your jobs as featured, because what happens with a featured job is they all go to the top of all the lists, so that they have a prominent, they have prominent exposure. So obviously, if you mark all your jobs as featured, then there's no point in doing it. So obviously, a featured job will be something that you needed to fill quickly, you're getting the most commission from, or whatever reasons. But as standard, if you don't select them as a featured job, then they appear in order of date added or their relevance to a certain industry sector. So as we scroll down this particular website here, you'll see that all of our websites have a job title, which is fairly self-explanatory. I always recommend that when you do add a job title, you include a location, obviously if it's location specific, because obviously one of the most important aspects of Google is that Google operates from where the job searcher is based. So if you're at home in Tamworth, where I am searching for jobs, then I will see all jobs in Tamworth. But if you're moving around the country, if you're on trains, on your phone, you'll get a different set of job results based upon where you are. So one of the important elements of Google Jobs is that you pass correct locations. Now, obviously, our website systems are built to the specification of Google Jobs, and on the next tab, I'll show you how that works. So that when you add a job to the system, obviously, the job title and the location is important. You'll also see a little box that appears there. That's called a tooltip, and it's also called an alt tag, which is short for alternative. And that basically indicates to Google that there's a link, and Google needs to follow the link, and that describes to Google what that particular link is about. But it's also good to include call to action options if that's relevant, such as apply now, vacancy must be filled. So our system by default adds the job title and the salary as the alternative tag. But if you want to catch a user's eye, then you could add something to sort of tempt them in. Now, the rest of the job includes a job summary of about 200 characters that you can write yourself. If you don't write your own job summary, then our system will take the top 200 characters of the full job description. Now, dependent on the design and how your system's set up, the vacancy can display, as it does here, salary, sector, contract type, town, and city. If you've got other elements that you want to announce, like benefits or anything else on the initial page, then obviously let us know when we set it up and we can display that information there. So we then click on the actual job title itself, and obviously you'll see the main job title there. Our system automatically creates the URL. It's unique, and that little number on the end makes it unique. If you added another job called Quantitative Research Manager, then our system will create the number as 159 on the end of it. If it's location specific, then you'd write Quantitative Research Manager London. Now, the vacancies are normally displayed in a similar format. This is the full job summary. You've got some additional information about the job on the right-hand side. The important apply now button. Candidates can shortlist it. You can back to the search results, and then you can share that job onto your own social media channels. Our system also creates the meta title and the meta description based upon the job title and the location. And that's important for search engine optimization, which we'll cover a little bit more in another session. Our websites have an XML website jobs map. When we initially set and activate the website, one of the things that we do is we submit your website jobs map to Search Manager, Google Search Manager, or the Google Search Console. We also submit your main website map. Now, your Google Jobs website map is built in a specific format so that Google knows all of the important elements that it needs to populate its own Google Jobs database. And that primarily is your job title, summary, salary, contract types, job description, and anything else, the application URL to make an application to that. So once we pass or submit this to Google, Google will pass it on a regular basis. If there's any errors or problems, you'll be notified by email via your Google account. And if you do get persistent problems, then send them into support and we can jump on it and see where the issues lie. If we move on to Google Jobs, so this is one of Nathan Blair's jobs here for the quantitative research manager. You'll see that it displays when it was posted, salary details, and which website it's taken from. And then the rest of the information is taken from the job description on your own website. If you click on the Apply Now button, that takes you to the actual vacancy where the application can be continued. Quickly looking through some of our other websites. Again, this is a website called Abercorn Sinclair. They deal in technical recruitment. You'll see the similarities, however, the job information is displayed slightly differently. We've then got another website called Cromwell Staffing. They deal in healthcare and they don't have as much information displayed on the main job section of the website. And then we've got an engineering website here, and you can see the similarities, but you can also see how the information is displayed slightly differently on each particular website. So let's quickly go and jump in and add a job. So you'll go to your administration area, as we've seen it previously, and you'll log in. So to post a job, you'll click on client options and then you'll click on add a job. And this is the page that you'll see. Very quickly, not going to dwell too much on the plainly obvious elements. But if you want to set the job as featured, as we've seen, you select the yes option. By default, it's no. The activate button, obviously you can deactivate it using this little option here, but by default, it's yes. You've also got a start and end date for these vacancies. Now, normally when we set up the website, we'll be asking you how long do you want these vacancies to be active for. Normally, it's something like 60 days, and then we have a script that deactivates all the positions. If you want them on there permanently and manually deactivate them, then that's absolutely fine. This is the main contact that's added into the system. You can add multiple contacts. You can also direct applications to individual consultants' email addresses, but normally we'll set up a uniform and generic application email address, so all applications will be directed to that application address. Next part is the sales, the job title, sorry. Again, if it's location specific, type in the location, and that will be displayed across all of the website, the jobs boards, and everywhere else. Reference, if you don't have a specific reference, leave it blank and our system will generate one itself. You've also got your industry sectors. Now, normally, when we set a website system up, you can select all of them. We can introduce restrictions. You can also have a second level of industry sectors. So if you've got like a 2-level industry sector, you'll click the top one and then the second one will appear under that. The link title, alternative text, that's the tooltip that I showed you before. So our system will do it by default, or you could put a call to action like apply now. So when they hold the cursor over the vacancy, apply now will appear. Now, the keyword section is not usually used. Now, you'd only use that if you've got loads and loads of vacancies. So what happens on our system, you've got like a keyword search option. So that will normally search the job description. However, if you wanted to speed the process up, you can type in a number of little keywords that people can do quick keyword searches on the front of the website. But again, most of the time that's not particularly used. The job summary is the first 200 characters, which is just a teaser, an introduction, so that when a candidate's obviously perusing through the vacancies, they'll see a little summary, and it will lead them into making the application. You've then got job description. I always spell that wrong when I'm recording things. So you then got the job description. You can paste into here. We recommend that if you do paste from Word, then you click this little box here and then paste it into there, which will then remove any formatting that has been built into the Word document. So moving down the form, you've got contract types. Now we set this up and you can change this yourself actually in the database list section. So that's all your contract types. You can have as many or as few as you wish. The salary details, we do have a number of this for display purposes. We do have a different number of currencies there. If you send in a vacancy, which is £35,000 to £45,000, you don't need commas, just type in the numerics. And then you can change it hour, day, week, month, or pro rata, or whatever you want the salaries to be displayed as. Benefits, pension, company car, all the things to catch people's eyes. You've then got the locations. Again, we've got every location in the world, but when we set up your system, we will decide with you what are your most important geographical areas. So if you click East Midlands, you've then got a subsector, secondary location sector there, and then you can type in the specific location in this field here, which is for display purposes. At the bottom, you've got your meta tags. Now, our system, as I've described, will automatically create the meta title, the meta description based around the job title, the location, and the first 150 characters from your job description. However, if you have the time, you can override this. So if it's a sales position manager, Tamworth, and you wanted to write something specific for the role, OTE, let's say it's a fabulous company, and you wanted to write in the OTE, then you can, and then you can type in the meta description there. So if you do want to override it, you can. However, for speed, in our system automates a lot of that process, so you can get the vacancies added as quickly as you can. And then that's it, really. It's as simple as that. Once you've done one, you'll do it very quickly. And it's just worth remembering that, just to sum up, if the location's important, then include it in the job title. Another tip, actually, thinking about it, I would always include in your very first sentence of a job description, include the details of what the job title is and where it is. I've read a lot of job descriptions where they don't even mention what the job is. It just talks about the people that they're looking for, which is fine, but obviously people tend to search for certain positions in certain geographical areas, so it's very important to remember that. And then the other thing to remember is once you've clicked that submit button, it goes on the website, it goes onto your website map within a couple of hours, and then it goes into the job alert queue. However, once you've added it, you can still search for that job, and you can still edit, deactivate it, or make changes to it in real time, and that won't pose you any problems. So thanks for listening, and yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.